When a new chandelier installation causes a dimmer to hum, several factors could be at play. It's important to systematically investigate these possible causes and implement appropriate solutions. Firstly, consider the compatibility of the dimmer with the bulbs. New dimmers may not always be fully compatible with standard incandescent bulbs, especially when the bulbs are mounted with their bases up. This orientation can sometimes lead to high-frequency interference, which manifests as a humming sound. Secondly, examine the bulb sockets. Loose or damaged bulb sockets can create resistance in the electrical circuit, which can also induce a humming noise. Thirdly, check for any electrical wiring issues. Loose connections or improper grounding within the chandelier fixture or the wiring leading to the dimmer can be a source of humming. Fourthly, harmonic resonance could be the problem. When the frequency of the electrical current aligns with the natural resonant frequency of the chandelier or the dimmer itself, it can create a humming sound. Here are several solutions to try. Firstly, experiment with different types of bulbs. LED or CFL bulbs often employ different technology than traditional incandescent bulbs, and they may prove more compatible with the dimmer. If you opt for LED or CFL bulbs, make sure they are specifically rated for use with dimmers to ensure proper function and prevent damage. Secondly, carefully inspect each of the bulb sockets. Look for any visible signs of damage, such as cracks or corrosion. Also, check for looseness. If any sockets appear loose, gently tighten them to ensure a secure electrical connection. Thirdly, thoroughly verify all the wiring connections associated with the chandelier and the dimmer. Make sure that all connections are secure and that the fixture is properly grounded according to electrical codes. Fourthly, consider switching to a different type of dimmer. Electronic dimmers or Lutron capacitor dimmers, for example, may offer better compatibility with incandescent bulbs mounted with their bases up, potentially eliminating the humming issue. Fifthly, if harmonic resonance is suspected to be the cause, investigate harmonic mitigation techniques. Installing a harmonic filter or utilizing a transformer with harmonic filtering capabilities could help to dampen the resonant frequency and eliminate the humming. Here are additional tips that may help resolve the problem. Firstly, contact the manufacturers of both the chandelier and the dimmer. They may have specific troubleshooting advice or compatibility information related to your particular models. Secondly, isolate the problem by testing with a single bulb. Disconnect the chandelier and connect the dimmer to a single incandescent bulb. If the dimmer still hums with only one bulb, it suggests the issue lies within the dimmer itself or the wiring leading to it. If the above solutions do not resolve the humming issue, it is advisable to hire a qualified electrician to inspect the electrical system and make any necessary repairs. Electricity can be dangerous, and it's best to leave complex electrical troubleshooting to professionals. It's essential to consider several factors when addressing dimmer humming issues after installing a new chandelier. One crucial aspect is to verify the compatibility between the dimmer and the bulbs used in the chandelier. Standard incandescent bulbs might not always work seamlessly with newer dimmers, particularly when the bulbs are oriented with their bases facing upwards. This orientation could potentially lead to high-frequency interference, resulting in an audible humming noise. Another point to consider involves inspecting the bulb sockets for any signs of damage or looseness. Compromised sockets can introduce resistance into the electrical circuit, contributing to the humming sound. Furthermore, it's crucial to thoroughly examine the electrical wiring connections associated with the chandelier and the dimmer to ensure they are secure and properly grounded. Loose connections or inadequate grounding can disrupt the flow of electricity and cause humming. Harmonic resonance is another potential culprit. This phenomenon occurs when the frequency of the electrical current aligns with the natural resonant frequency of the chandelier or the dimmer, resulting in an amplified humming sound. To address these issues, several solutions can be explored. One approach is to experiment with different types of bulbs. LED or CFL bulbs, which employ different technologies compared to traditional incandescent bulbs, might offer better compatibility with the dimmer. When opting for LED or CFL bulbs, it's crucial to ensure they are specifically designed for use with dimmers to guarantee optimal performance and prevent potential damage. Another solution involves carefully inspecting each bulb socket for any signs of damage, such as cracks or corrosion. Additionally, check for any looseness. If any sockets appear loose, gently tighten them to ensure a secure electrical connection. Thoroughly verifying all wiring connections associated with the chandelier and the dimmer is also essential. Ensure that all connections are secure and that the fixture is properly grounded according to electrical codes. Consider switching to a different type of dimmer. Electronic dimmers or Lutron-capacitor dimmers, for example, might provide better compatibility with incandescent bulbs mounted with their bases up, potentially resolving the humming issue. If harmonic resonance is suspected to be the cause, investigate harmonic mitigation techniques. Installing a harmonic filter or utilizing a transformer with harmonic filtering capabilities could help dampen the resonant frequency and eliminate the humming. Additional tips to consider include contacting the manufacturers of both the chandelier and the dimmer. They may offer specific troubleshooting advice or compatibility information related to your particular models. Isolating the problem by testing with a single bulb can also be helpful. Disconnect the chandelier and connect the dimmer to a single incandescent bulb. If the dimmer still hums with only one bulb, it suggests the issue lies within the dimmer itself or the wiring leading to it. If the problem persists despite implementing these solutions, it's advisable to consult with a qualified electrician to inspect the electrical system and make any necessary repairs. The electrical work can be hazardous, and it's best to entrust complex electrical troubleshooting to professionals. Electrical current flows through a circuit due to the potential difference measured in volts. In North America, standard residential voltage is typically 120 volts, while high-voltage circuits, like those for appliances or lighting, may use 240 volts. The current, measured in amps, is the rate of flow of electrical charge. The relationship between voltage, current, and resistance is described by Ohm's law, which states that voltage equals current multiplied by resistance. Resistance, measured in ohms, opposes the flow of current. Electrical components, such as dimmers and light bulbs, have specific voltage and current ratings that must be compatible to ensure proper operation and prevent damage. When a dimmer is not compatible with the type of bulb being used, it can lead to various issues, including humming, flickering, or premature bulb failure. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, provides guidelines for safe electrical installations. The NEC is updated every 3 years, and it's essential for electricians and homeowners to follow the latest edition to ensure compliance and safety. NEC tables, such as Table 310.15b16, provide ampacity ratings for conductors based on their size and insulation type. These tables help determine the appropriate wire gauge for a given circuit to prevent overheating and fire hazards. Grounding is a critical safety measure in electrical systems. It provides a low resistance path for fault current to flow back to the source, tripping a circuit breaker or fuse and preventing electrical shock. Grounding electrodes, such as ground rods or metal water pipes, are used to establish a connection to the earth. Ground fault circuit interrupters, or GFCIs, are designed to detect small imbalances in current and quickly disconnect the circuit to prevent electrical shock. GFCIs are commonly installed in bathrooms, kitchens, and outdoor areas where there is a risk of exposure to water. Arc fault circuit interrupters, or SIs, are designed to detect arc faults, which are dangerous electrical discharges that can cause fires. SIs are required in many residential circuits to provide enhanced fire protection. When troubleshooting electrical problems, it's essential to use appropriate safety precautions, such as wearing insulated gloves and using a voltage tester to verify that circuits are de-energized before working on them. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, it's best to hire a qualified electrician to perform the work. Dimmers control the brightness of lights by varying the voltage applied to the bulb. Traditional incandescent dimmers work by chopping the AC waveform, reducing the average voltage delivered to the bulb. Electronic dimmers use solid-state components to control the voltage more precisely, resulting in smoother dimming and improved energy efficiency. LED dimmers are specifically designed to work with LED bulbs, which have different dimming characteristics than incandescent bulbs. LED dimmers typically use pulse width modulation, or PWM, to control the brightness of the LED. When selecting a dimmer, it's important to choose one that is compatible with the type of bulb being used and that has a wattage rating that is sufficient for the load. Overloading a dimmer can cause it to overheat and fail. In addition to compatibility and wattage rating, it's also important to consider the dimming range of the dimmer. Some dimmers have a limited dimming range, while others can dim the lights down to a very low level. The best dimmer for a particular application will depend on the desired level of control and the type of lighting being used. When installing a dimmer, it's important to follow the manufacturer's instructions carefully. Dimmers typically require a neutral wire connection, so it's important to ensure that the wiring is correct. It's also important to tighten all connections securely to prevent loose connections, which can cause problems. When replacing a dimmer, it's a good idea to turn off the power to the circuit at the circuit breaker before starting work. This will help prevent electrical shock. It's also a good idea to take a picture of the wiring before disconnecting the old dimmer, so you can remember how to connect the new dimmer. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, it's best to hire a qualified electrician to install or replace a dimmer. Electrical work can be dangerous, and it's important to take precautions to prevent electrical shock. In addition to dimmers, there are other types of lighting controls available, such as timers, motion sensors, and photocells. Timers can be used to turn lights on and off automatically at set times. Motion sensors can be used to turn lights on when someone enters a room and off when they leave. Photocells can be used to turn lights on automatically when it gets dark and off when it gets light. These types of lighting controls can help save energy and improve security. When selecting lighting controls, it's important to consider the application and the desired level of control. The best lighting controls for a particular application will depend on the specific needs of the user. When installing lighting controls, it's important to follow the manufacturer's instructions carefully. Lighting controls typically require a neutral wire connection, so it's important to ensure that the wiring is correct. It's also important to tighten all connections securely to prevent loose connections, which can cause problems. When replacing lighting controls, it's a good idea to turn off the power to the circuit at the circuit breaker before starting work. This will help prevent electrical shock. It's also a good idea to take a picture of the wiring before disconnecting the old lighting controls, so you can remember how to connect the new lighting controls. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, it's best to hire a qualified electrician to install or replace lighting controls. Electrical work can be dangerous, and it's important to take precautions to prevent electrical shock.